things.
Of course, we have to see if we're on side. Yeah. Hiya, hiya.
Would you like to become a higher?
I want to see if we're actually. Oh, I'm in the stream. Yeah. Oh yes, you got the. Why didn't you adjust the chair?
I did. I lowered mine.
You're supposed to raise this.
Here, have a cushion.
There now.
You're higher now.
Okay. All right, let's try this again, so I can actually be seen. Okay. There.
I've always said that women should be able to see and not heard.
Yeah, you might want to change the angle of your monitor just a trace.
But it's
like that. Yeah, there. Now you
so
need
that
to
I'm out of it.
You need to get. Well, you are out of it. That's okay.
There we go.
Yeah. Hi there, everybody. Welcome.
I could have taken drugs, but I didn't.
You could have. Yeah, another thing on the list of things you could have done before we start.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, yeah. That sort of thing. That means what get ready means, you know. But all of the things checked off.
I got ready by watching YouTube videos.
I see. Unfortunately, they weren't on.
Better, relatively.
Yes, we're feeling relatively better.
We might be able to talk for a while. We'll see.
We have a tail end of a cold still. It was just a nasty cold.
Yeah,
or a
moderate cold.
Lousy cold, I guess is the correct word. It wasn't too bad.
Wasn't the worst I've had, at least not so far.
But it was nothing to do an entire marathon with when you're feeling bad.
So we're back in our regular schedule as a result.
Yes, and so indeed, welcome to the Knights of the Dead.
I have not yet uploaded the generously donated VODs, but I did upload last session.
Ah, okay.
So actually, the last session I uploaded realized it was only 30 seconds.
What's the wrong one?
It was 30 seconds of me saying, no, we're not doing a video today, so I deleted that one. But the one from 2 weeks ago is now uploaded to YouTube in the Dread Solar Games channel.
It says the stream is offline up there. I don't think that's quite correct.
The stream is offline. What
it says on the Streamline chatbot thing, the chatbot box. Now it says we're live. Now it clicked on. Oh, what do you know?
Stream live.
Uh-huh. Any rate.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah. Only so much so.
Thank you for distracting me to trying to understand CRC generation. Yeah, what's really cool is look into Huffman encoding. That's a lot of fun.
Ah, yes. Failed to send the message. Are you connected with the account that you're trying to send a message?
Where do you see that? That one. That must be the message I tried to send.
Yes, that was the message you tried to send. Unfortunately.
I tried to say, hi, everyone, or something like that. No. Okay, now let's try it as bot. Oh, that works.
Bot works.
I can send it as a bot, but I can't send it as the streamer, and that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
The Transolar Games bot.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I like that.
Icon there, Datavar. Any rate, yeah. Long time no see. Much love as always. Well, we're glad you came in. Now we're glad to see people join.
I love you, I love you, I love you. I was just watching a thing on auto-tune and...
oh, you watched that's the one?
Yeah, someone's on auto-tuning and one that said, Adele sings out of tune in her new song, and which of course makes you think it's going to be a criticism, but actually no, it's because she's wonderful.
She's not auto-tuning.
Oh, well. She's not auto-tuned.
Oh, okay. Well, those are purists, I think so. So, at any rate, yes, we missed you. Hi there, Bob. Welcome. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
We are going with the Day of the Dead / Nights of the Dead theme.
Yeah, because it's only shortly after, more or less, kind of the Day of the Dead in
and our version.
Latin American tradition, and our version of it, Lori came up with the Nights of the Dead,
so it could
that are celebrated here.
More than one, so that there could be ghosts for a while around the school.
The Hero U Castle is haunted. There are friendly ghosts, there are neutral ghosts, and there are hostile wraiths. I don't know if the ghosts are hostile.
But they're not up in the student area, fortunately.
So some of our backers that put in a little extra, we gave them the opportunity to be some sort of a undead in the game. And we polled them and said, do you want to be a hostile enemy undead, or do you want to be a friendly, helpful undead? And everybody, with one exception, everybody said they wanted to be friendly and helpful. So we said, well, that's kind of boring, but okay.
No, that's what we thought because we really did,
And we said, okay, well, if everybody wants
Yeah.
to be friendly and helpful, we'll make it work.
Yeah, that just meant that everybody had to have something of a storyline driven into the game. There's a reason why that game is so immense because, it had to adapt to all the things that we did to it. So, yes, all but one were helpful. And that one,
And Becker Zach Kasnirg. Kasnirg was the villain in training, and
yes,
Zach Green
yeah.
backwards. And Zach decided that he wanted to be a hostile spirit, and we made him the Master Wraith.
Yeah, we were going to have, a different. We had a whole section that got killed in the game. We had the Master Wraith lair,
Yeah.
and it had its whole room, and it was going to be, an event in itself. But as a result of the fact that, with every game, our ideas are far superior to our amount of time and ability to implement.
We decided we needed to cut out a couple rooms here and there, and that was one we.
That was the one we got rid of, and then made basically promoted Zach to the Master Wraith's position.
So we could combine them, the roles, and we ended up making that a pretty big sequence anyway, and it caused lots of bugs.
Oh yeah, but it still was. It was a very complicated room for anyway. So as we implemented it, or intended it to be implemented.
Now the funny thing is, you make a game called Heroes Quest, another one called Hero U, and for some reason people want to be heroes.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
It's
At least the
just a
people who
thing.
like the game.
Yes. Then again, you never know. So, so we have a lot of spooky stuff in our games.
Ooh. Good spooky enough.
Yes, anyone can have an idea. Not everyone can execute it. Yeah, even us can have more ideas than we can execute. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to say that ideas are a dime a dozen, and you take a million ideas and you can make a game out of it. And lately, as we get older, ideas are a little harder to come by than I thought. But good ideas and making the ideas work together and building a coherent combination of the ideas, that's hard.
Yeah.
So
let's
you
just
need to pick and choose from your ideas.
Hero U was over elaborated and huge and out of control because basically, I was in charge.
So you're saying it was bad?
It was not bad. It was bad from an executive, a company perspective.
Well, from the viewpoint of the reason that we pitched Hero U in the first place was we were in debt and we wanted to get out of debt.
Yeah.
From that viewpoint, it was a terrible, terrible idea.
Yes.
So we instead went deeper into debt.
And we made it more and more complex, which is just prone to bugs and all that. But it was the game I wanted to make. So, you make your choices. You can make money or you can make a good game.
And actually, I think we're almost out of debt now.
Wow. Not thanks to the game, though.
Yeah, thanks to, instead of having a mortgage on our house,
Yeah.
we no longer have a house.
Hi
We're
there.
homeless.
Welcome. Welcome, MC Cole. Welcome. Yes,
Hi there.
we just don't have a house anymore, but that's okay.
But less debt.
Fun bugs, though. Had a lot of fun trying to break it in my latest playthrough.
Well, I broke it just minutes ago. I was setting it up to do some things in this stream and discovered that all the combats were turning my camera upside down.
That just doesn't make sense.
You do new builds and things go wrong.
Oh,
And they had a camera in the floor, I think, in a previous build.
well, great. Yes. And of course, everything's a learning experience. Everything we did for Hero U was like relearning and rewriting and
Everything we've done for every game.
Yes, but this more so than anything because we had to have a system, and before, at least with the previous games with Sierra, we had a system that was built in.
Yeah. So we started out with asking one of our developers. Said we wanted a message editor like we had at Sierra, and we described what it did, and that it was basically this utility that let us create kind of a cross between a spreadsheet and a database. With lines of dialogue and so on, and he proceeded to build us something Kind of like a visual editor, sort of like Twine, that used spaghetti connections between the nodes. They look like strands of spaghetti.
It literally did it initially.
And it was pretty cool. And then we started talking about the number of nodes we'd have in there.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they didn't fit on one screen, and you started having all kinds of logistics for being able to zoom in and out and scroll and all that stuff. And
So, back to the drawing board.
it went back to a custom tool to do design, but it was vastly more complicated than the simple little message editor we thought we wanted.
However, it made for a great basic engine for creating a game.
Maybe I should bring that up.
Yes, and breaking Turk scripts, yes, I feel no pity for him. Now, you should not feel pity for him. He is a monster.
Does anyone see a composer on this?
Do I see a
screen with too
composer
many apps?
screen? There's too many apps there. Yeah, I don't see composer offhand.
just
It's probably
don't
on the bottom, usually. Well, I always organize my screens.
Mine was at one point.
Yeah, and then every time you switch a monitor, it's going to redo it.
I didn't see it.
You have it on your bottom.
How does anyone do any work on
I
this?
don't know how.
Oh, here it is, composer.
Oh, okay.
It's got a doll icon.
Yeah.
Windows is searching for composer.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. I apparently moved it.
You moved it.
That's
oh,
why
well.
I didn't have an icon. Composer. File folder.
Yes, I watched Back to the Future just the other day.
Vendor composer.
And
That's not it.
there was the marathon on some channel, so I had to watch number 3 again because I really loved number 3 of the Back to the West one. But I also watched part of number 2, and it's awfully grim. It's very dark, but it's really good. I thought the whole series was just a lot of fun. But yeah.
All right. There it is.
Oh, yeah, they can't see it, so it isn't there for them.
It will be.
Ah.
Okay, so I'm going to try to share my desktop and then figure out how to do this. Sources.
Is this
yes.
If you're going to show which one?
I am going to show window capture.
Okay.
It's complicated.
It is.
All right. ScumVM.
Ah, you like the 2, probably the favorite of the series. Interesting. Yeah.
ScumVM. Why would I have ScumVM?
Part 2 looks like the Ukraine nowadays. Yikes.
Okay, well that didn't work at all. Let's delete this. Remove.
All right. Very good. The whole time travel to inside the previous movie thing was new in 1989 or whatever. Not now everyone does it. Yeah, well, it's a good idea, and there are very
What was new when?
Time travel when
Time
that
travel.
thing came out. The implementation of it.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, the
is that
Back
what we're
to
talking
Future, where you kept getting iterations of the same movie, effectively, just in different timelines. Well, it was very clever at that time. Yes.
about? Was Back to the Future 2 the one where they go to the Old West, or was that 3?
3 is the West.
I like that one.
2 is the dark future, or the dark present. That they've altered the past and now they come to the dark present.
I don't know if this can actually
I
be brought
prefer
up.
closed loop
Oh, okay.
time travel personally. Well, I don't know. You go back and forth which one's the more exciting storyteller. Basically, the Marvel Universe has gone to, you generate a new timeline and everything swings off of that, and so you can have multiple iterations of the same story.
Okay, let's just show the entire screen. How about that?
All right, you did.
Okay, so this is what the composer tool ended up to be.
Yeah.
And we can say bring up scenes.
You
scenes.
have nothing there. You do not have Road to Redemption here. Nothing's showing up.
Oh, that's great.
So you're not
okay,
loading.
let us change.
You're not in the right directory, probably.
I know why.
Oh, can you go to Tilly's game though? You could do it that and faster.
SPC. Oh well, maybe, but.
All right, so he has to.
GitHub. Redemption.
Closed loop is more closer to our understanding of physics. Interesting, yeah. Terminator 1 is my favorite time travel movie. But Back to the Future 2 and Avengers Endgame are fun, yeah.
Didn't work. Change. Okay, some days.
T1's successful closed loop and an excellent movie. I like T2 personally. T1 is a nice, scary movie. I mean, it's in the classification of a romp.
Oh, I see. I changed my webcam instead of my desktop, so I've totally destroyed this.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
let's get rid of display capture, and we'll be back to that. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll screw around the other window and try to figure out what I'm doing while Lori talks.
T2 is not a closed loop again, but T2 to me was genuinely frightening. You know, T1 was a monster. Was the premise of a monster chasing you constantly. T2 was more of how the personalities of the characters interacted, so it was much more of a story to me. Shame they stopped making Terminator movies after T2. Yeah, but you know, it's like Quest for Glory 5. A story that comes to a good conclusion really should end right there and not be dragged out for 20 sequels that have no meaningful addition to the story. So it's nice to know when you should quit when you're, ahead.
Okay, put your composer.
The monster could be anyone in T2. Yes, that was true. Arnold with an assault rifle is fairly obvious.
As in an obvious bad guy?
Well, it's, he's clearly a something. And of course, Arnold was at his best at that time. So, yeah.
I poked it really good.
You did it. I don't know why you bothered.
Well, I guess I'm not going to bother, but I will have to debug this one. So there it finally came up.
Yeah.
Oh, it actually came up.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so this took bloody forever. Let me go to the desktop, and this time let me add a device, and I'm going to do a display capture, add source, display one, done. Okay, you can now see the composer window.
With Road to Redemption.
With Road to Redemption, and it just took that full minute to load on an SSD, so that gives you an idea how bloody big the game got. 93 scenes, a typical scene in a Sierra game was 50. 90 actors, I think we typically had like 30 in a Sierra game. 2,800 scripts, not even comparable. So if I go to a scene, then I can say bring up the Great Hall. And we can look at scripts and all these different things here. I want to find some Knights of the Dead. Maybe there. There's a Linen Ghost Archway Interact. I didn't even know that was such a thing.
Those are the decorations along the arches. Now you know you can actually interact with them.
Linen Ghost?
Yeah, they're ghosts. They're linen ghosts hanging from the thing.
All right, so this is a linen ghost that is only the decoration that is there, only during the Nights of the Dead. We wrote a script for it. Lori wrote a script for it.
I didn't.
Oh, right.
That was
Josh Mandel wrote a script for it. Look at the linen ghosts. It'll take more than a few ghosts cut out of cloth to scare me. With the italic me. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, if they cut some Turks out of cloth, that'd be a lot creepier. Friend or foe? Foe. Little French pun there. Mm-hmm. Like little puns. And so this is the kind of things that Lori and Josh were able to put into the game. I'm not going to change anything.
No.
Ghost Peter Interact. This is probably something that Lori wrote.
I would say, yeah.
Listen to the ghost. Ghost Peter the Swaggerful. If Grigri is in inventory, and I'll be getting into that in just a moment in the game. The ghost says, "You can one day be great, but not as great as I." And Sean says,
"How do you know that?"
"No one is as great as I."
Right.
And you'll note that there's a little thing for voice clip on the right of these, that if we had actually implemented voice acting, we would have put all the voice clips in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play the sound.
I don't think it
doesn't
plays
work
anymore.
at the moment. Oh.
Yeah, I think
somebody broke our composer.
They broke it, yeah.
And if you don't have the Making Grigri quest, it will add the quest, How to Talk to Ghosts. And then it gives you the opportunity to get ghost dust from the ghost, because you might need it. So that's the way this entire game was made. Thousands of scripts, on this tool. And it's vastly more complicated than what we thought we wanted. But once we had it, we found we needed it all. Right?
Yeah. Grigri is so GK vibes. I didn't actually play GK, so I don't know. I tried not to.
It is, however, the Francais.
Grigri?
Grigri.
Is French?
That's why gris is Gris is pronounced gris.
Yeah, but
not obvious to you?
I don't think it came out of. I mean, I think it's it came out of.
It came out of Haiti, and Haiti was
yes, because it was a French colony,
colony.
but I don't think the French actually used it.
But nonetheless, the word is which
yeah, attempts to fan dub Hero U. Yeah.
Which I would have said that means gray.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's French for
language
gray.
changes. Despite the fact you can carry all those shields and spears, the bodies of Coquino and our Magnum are too heavy to carry if you try to bring them back to the city. Well, yeah, but, bodies are hard to carry.
Well, and in the earlier Quest for Glories, we actually put restrictions on what you could carry. Each item had weight. The weight was in quarks. Whatever a quark was some fraction of an ounce of weight. And that if you carried too much weight, it started actually reducing your stats and causing you fatigue.
And it was a pain in the ass, so we took it out.
So they took it out of Quest for Glory 5 because somebody other made programmed Quest for Glory 5.
So
actually, I programmed some of Quest for Glory 5.
How often did Ryan Grogan use this system? Ryan actually didn't use this. We entered everything that he did.
Yeah. So yes, how often did the Hero U composer use Hero U composer? And the answer is no. We did not even come up with the name composer. That was the programmer. Robert. Robert? Is that his name? I say Robert Alexander, but that's not.
No, that's not it.
Have we got a credits list for Quest for Glory?
We have got credits list.
Let me go run. I've got a Steam running here.
Okay.
And I could install Broken Age, but instead I'll play Hero U.
I would open up.
Nonsense. Transfer Games, but that's on the wrong screen.
Yeah,
so
it
I
is.
need to.
And it's now overriding us.
Let's do settings. Full screen. No. Oh, get over there.
They won't see it anyway.
Full screen. Settings. Resolution. Lower. Full screen. Back. Okay, now if I go to desktop, they should see it. Oh. Aha! No, they see that thing instead.
They see the wrong one.
There, we'll see the right one.
Okay, there.
Okay, if I go to credits.
Okay. There's David Billinson's name there. Melanson, yes. Sorry, you're correct. Sorry about that, yeah.
As opposed to correctly. Programmers, Rob Eisenberg. Rob Eisenberg, created composer. With lots of later work.
Eisenberg theory, yes.
Yes. I thought there was music in these credits.
Well,
I wonder if I have my music turned off.
You probably have your music turned off.
Let's try settings. Background music is on.
Well, you probably have your speakers off.
Maybe. Ingredients was one of my saves.
Oh, good. Pizza. Pizza is the answer to everything. Quarks were in Quest for Glory 5, though. Oh, okay. One of the questions on Science Island, one I found highly amusing, personally. Oh, really? I didn't remember that.
So, I say, let's make a Grigri.
Oh,
and she says, this is your line.
Well, yes, but I'm answering. We're
talking
to people. We're not ready to talk these things. You will be needing to find some hair from a dead man before I can make you a Grigri.
And I discovered that it's just like the infamous puzzle in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where you're trying to catch the babblefish, and each time you think you've got just the thing you need to do, it says, "Oh, but you need to do something else." And you do that about 5 or 6 times before you finally catch the babblefish or give up in frustration. Right. That's probably most players do.
Eisenberg, that's the actor from the Facebook movie. Well, Eisenberg, I think of as...
Heisenberg.
Heisenberg. Well,
Heisenberg is who Henry would say conceived of the uncertainty principle.
Yes. That. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Isn't he the director, Eisenberg? The most
Maybe.
famous,
Most famous director
director of,
of all time?
well, certainly of Battleship Potemkin and things like that in the past. The
I don't
silent
think
movie.
that doesn't sound right. IMDb. Let's go for Eisenberg or Heisenberg?
Battleship Potemkin.
Battleship. There's a slight lag, which is causing keys not
There
to
it
show
is.
up.
There it is. 1925.
All right, we're going to find out whether Lori is correct or not by switching to this. I'm looking for cast and crew of Battleship Potemkin. It's directed by Eisenstein. Not quite the same as Eisenberg.
All right, fine. Close enough. Close enough.
Now, we had at Sierra, of course, we had Bob Heitman and we had Mark Siebert. So the question is, how are their names spelled? Well, Heitman was spelled H-E-I-T. And Seberg was spelled S-E-I-B.
And Spielberg
was S-P-I-E-L.
And Shapir.
Except Steven Spielberg is B-E-R-G, and Spielberg, the town, is B-U-R-G. And Shapir and Rassier, we never could keep straight of which was, whether it was I before I-E or E after I. I think it's an I before E, except after C, or when sounded like A, as in neighbor and way, and a few other weird words.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, so even Germanic. So that's the joke in Young Frankenstein, is where they call him Frankenstein. He says, it's Frankenstein! And every time he corrects Frankenstein to Frankenstein.
Until he finally accepts
that he really is Frankenstein.
Yeah. I just associate Heisenberg with Breaking Bad. Oh well.
Oh well.
It's modern things. Have you ever seen Balin's Route? No, I haven't seen that one. I don't know it. English is a mud of a language, yes. I before E, except after C, are on alternate Thursdays, and to the republic for which it stands. That's the American code, yes.
I must admit that I do the Pledge of Allegiance when I go to the coffee hour, and there is 2 words that I omit from that every time I say it. Nobody seems to know this, fortunately.
Okay.
One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
They do that at the coffee hour?
Yes, they have those 2 more words in there, though.
Yeah.
And those words were, in fact, added to the Pledge of Allegiance decades after it was originally written, so I'm just doing the original version.
English got mixed with Normandy, France, about 1,000 years ago, making it more confusing. Well, not only that, but then people decided that it had Latin roots, and so they tried to interpret everything as though it had come from Latin rather than Germanic, and so therefore they altered the way things were spelled and that to go with what they thought was Latin. So
we call Eisenstein literally as is written. Eisenstein. Well, that sounds reasonable. Although I don't know how you pronounce those words, but I guess probably like those words. The question is, how is EI pronounced?
Yeah, that was the question.
Because that could be pronounced I, or it could be pronounced A, or it could be pronounced E.
Yeah.
Or A. Could be a diphthong.
Could be. We don't have too many.
I'll just cough a little.
Oh, yeah. Well, you do anyway. Let's see. We got a fair amount.
9 signed up for science! That was probably one of my safe games, yes.
Yes. I mean,
I guess
all right, yes, and that goes back to the Future, because I totally loved writing the character of
Herr Dr. von Braun?
Yes, Braun. Yes.
Because? Why did you enjoy writing that?
Because I loved the character of Doc Brown in Back to the Future, and I thought it was an awesome.
A mere coincidence of names.
Yeah. Young Frankenstein is by far the best movie I have ever made. Not the funniest. Blazing Saddles was the funniest, okay, and Hot on Its Heels would be the producers. But as a writer-director, it is by far my finest, said Mel Brooks.
All 3 of those films are excellent.
Yeah.
The producers is a bit overwrought.
Well, they all are. I mean, and Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles is wonderful,
insane.
And of course,
I mean, I don't care for the break of reality, the fourth wall break at the end, because I like the reality of what they were setting
what about
up.
the extreme political incorrectness of it?
I mean, it's totally incorrect right now, but
And
as I said, they can't make a film like that anymore.
because
But
people
it was
take it seriously.
yes, people would take it seriously, and they're awesome. Oh, and Leisure Suit Larry 3 does the Blazing Saddles ending.
Oh,
Oh,
does
that's
it?
interesting. Yeah.
And of course, Frontier Pharmacist, Freddie Farkas' Frontier Pharmacist is really all a Blazing Saddles parody, sort of.
Ah. And Aerosmith wrote this song "Walk This Way" after seeing Young Frankenstein and thinking Igor was hilarious. This is not a joke. Interesting, yes. And he was. Marty Feldman was absolutely hilarious in that movie. It is on our top list of movies and one of the biggest influences.
And of course, Al Lowe, who wrote Leisure Suit Larry, loved to tell the "Walk This Way" joke. Said, "Walk this way," says, to walk that way, I'd need talcum powder.
Yeah, those jokes. I mean, "Walk This Way" joke had been out before Young Frankenstein.
It's ancient.
Yes.
It's Don Rickles level.
Oh,
Did I tell you my father's name is Igor?
Huh.
No, but I believe it.
Yeah.
It's a perfectly fine name, but it has been because of having him be the sidekick for the
Really young
scientist,
Frank.
yes. And then Young Frankenstein really
Yes.
twisted it.
Yeah.
Igor.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that I wasn't the first to think of a Chinese restaurant called Walk This Way.
I think there is one actually.
Yeah, that's why he said
There's a walk on in.
Yeah. Twisted as much as his spine. Yeah. I think Bela Lugosi played Igor in the original Frankenstein too.
What hump?
Yeah. Well, not in the original. The original Frankenstein. No, I don't know if he played it in one of these.
Bela Lugosi.
Well,
No, he didn't play.
hell yeah, Bela Lugosi was the original Dracula.
Yeah, but
Yeah. It was the king's name in ancient times. Yes.
It was Lon Chaney then.
Lon Chaney was the Wolfman.
What was Peter Lorre?
Peter Lorre was always Peter Lorre. I mean,
Peter Lorre in The Raven was amazing.
yes. The double take when the hump switches sides are so good. Yes, it's all about the other film for double takes, of course, is Arsenic and Old Lace with Cary Grant doing the most amazing double take in all of film history when he finds the body in the
In the basement?
no, the body in the
the window
window seat.
What do you
Yes,
call that?
I can't remember what it's actually called, but the window seat. And he's talking about it, and then he opens it up and shuts it and walks off, and then does the double take and comes back. And just for, I mean, it's like a full minute of mugging, and he does it so well. Yes, in the original Frankenstein, though, the Blab sister was named Fritz. Yes, it was
didn't
son
know
of
that.
Frankenstein. Yes, but it was they had.
She's more of a movie scholar than I am.
Yes, because I used to study things. Hi, Candide! Yay!
Hey,
Welcome.
welcome!
Naturally, I mean, the traditional.
So when did you want me to show off a little of Hero You, since you said you didn't want me to do that?
Well,
I was going to show the decorations for Night at the Dead. and
well, we
stuff like
can
that.
when we're past
Bored?
the talking part.
Okay.
My favorite book of all times for horror movies was one that I'm probably, hopefully still have, but it's
I
not.
don't know if we saved it or not.
I think I saved it. It's not out though, because Lord, it's in a box somewhere. But it had some great puns like Toast Ghosties and just went through all the classic movies. So
Yeah, we had a bookshelf in the front hall bathroom that had a lot of our reference books for Quest for Glory and movie books and art books and
yeah,
stuff like
all
that.
of those were what influenced us. First time viewer. The real
What?
glow kid. The real glow kid said, I just finished my playthrough of Hero's Quest on stream last week, and also picked up a Switch copy of Hero U to go along with my PC version. Thank
Nice.
you. wonderful memories playing these over and over growing up. Well, hopefully, Hero U will give you that same wonderful feeling every time you get
And
to play.
hopefully we'll find a few 100,000 players that like Hero U as much as they did Quest for Glory. And
Yeah.
we can
Igor
make a
is a
living at it.
popular minion in Sir Terry Pratchett's books. Well, yeah, I mean, it's just iconic, yes. While seeing Son of Frankenstein years after Young Frankenstein, and seen it was all parody scenes with told straight was a trip. Yes! And one of the most amazing things that I had was going to a convention many years ago where they had all of the setup from the original Frankenstein movie and all of those special effects of the lightning going up things and that all the Van de Graaff generated
the Jacob's Ladder.
and Jacob's Ladder, all of that was real, and they could only run it like once an hour because it would blow the electricity. The electricity would dip in a convention center when they ran it, but it was so awesome to see that lightning sparking every which way. Just incredible, and to know that it was all real.
Well, I have some fond memories from growing up. My brother loved to say, "Igor, the fluid, give me the fluid." That was his favorite line that he would repeat. And over at the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia, they had a huge Van de Graaff generator and did demonstrations where they had people from the that were just visiting come in and all line up and hold hands.
Yeah, we did that in science class once. So I had a good
science class.
And
I did that. I got zapped.
Yes, we all got zapped. It was a great experience. Then again, in arcades, they used to have the electrical thing that the current would keep going up. You had to hold on to the two bars to create the circuit. And then the current would keep going up. And see if you could hold it long enough to get to the top.
Which was later parodied in a Keith Laumer Retief novel, in which Retief is playing an arcade where he has a machine where you basically stick your arm into a slot, and there is a hammer that is going to drop at a random interview and smack in, and basically if you stay in too long, it'll cut off your hand. And but you get more and more credits the longer you hold in. So the question is, when do you pull it out? And of course, Retief being Retief manages to do it just in the exact second before the thing drops. And
Bride of Frankenstein was the source for a lot of the parody scenes in Young Frankenstein. The scene with blind Herbert, for example. Yes, that was the thing. Young Frankenstein was just really a tribute to the past too. I wish I could have spent more time with Dr. Cranium. Yeah. Well, if we keep going with the series of summer days, you will get to do it.
a couple of my friends in high school made a video. It was a video on safety, and it was all kind of parodied. All things not to do, like don't stick your hand into the lawnmower or whatever. At which point they had a gory blood shooting out and stuff. But they had a wonderful scene of a Frankenstein walking into the fire and saying, don't do that, you'll get burned. And I said, wow, they really did a great job in that. And about a year later, I went to the local library and checked out the video of, Frankenstein meets Wolfman or something like that. And it was really weird because I got to that scene of the film and all of a sudden there was a break in the film where somebody had cut out part of the film and spliced it back together. And so I discovered where they got that scene from, is they literally took it out of a video from the library. That would be frowned on today. Or in this case, 8mm film.
Ah, yes. Sweet Potato Mousse is talking about what they swiped from.
Sweet potato mousse. I was thinking, pumpkin souffle later. But
okay.
we have pumpkin, canned pumpkin.
We do. Souffle.
Blind
we don't
Hermit
have any
was Bride of Frankenstein. River Girl was original Frankenstein. And blindly running around with his arms in front of him, Son of Frankenstein. And a bunch of those movies back in the day. Yep. Yeah, and there were all the crossover ones.
And I saw somebody giving exercises for the hand, and one of them was, put your arms in the configuration for Thriller and exercise that way, and that's to loosen up your hands.
I see.
So you should go out and do Thriller to get loosened up.
But
to
yeah,
do
they had
ceramics.
Dracula meets the Mummy and Frankenstein meets the Mummy and all those.
We're
Abbott
so
and Costello,
sorry.
is that what we're thinking of?
Yeah, Abbott Costello with the greatest visual joke of all time with the blocking of the door. So and Abbott and Costello meets
Locking the door and discovering that the monster was in the room with them.
no the door opened the wrong way.
Oh,
So, and the joke is all there. You know, you see it. You see them run into the room. You see them put all these things up at the door. And then you see the door open and said, oh, yeah, right.
that's the way it opened before.
Yes. I mean, the joke was set up, but you just go with it because it doesn't occur to you.
Oh, Yasker Faye subscribed to Tier 1
Yay!
for 3 months. Yay, thank you, Yasker.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Let's see.
Box from Dune. I don't know anything about the Box from Dune.
No. Oh, the box from Dune. Yeah, that's the box that he had to stick his hand into.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Well, our kid, the young kid, the kid, whatever his name was. I'm going from the original movie. I read the books long time before that.
By the kid, do you mean the one that becomes the
yes,
the savior?
The savior's figure, yeah. Or Katie, or whatever it is.
We should remember his name.
We should, and I will if somebody put it up there. But yes,
The hero.
the hero, actually they were saying, this was a condemnation. Dune was a condemnation of hero worship and savior figures. So
I don't remember that one, or if it was another one where they were had a scene on the spaceship. I'm talking about the book, not the movie, where they had a box that had all the different drugs, because Dune was all about drugs.
it was all about drugs, yeah. But I know that's the same box. The box of terror and horror.
That's the terror and horror.
Yeah.
Rats.
Rats? Not that. It's not a room.
1984.
Yeah. There's another horror movie. Now I get nostalgic. For all these great horror and scary things.
Yeah, we don't
and all
like
the things.
we don't like actually scary
Yeah.
horror movies. So,
Y'all
but
see, we
classic
have
horror
not
movies
seen
that
the
were
current
they're all
Dune yet.
campy.
Yes.
No, we have not seen the current Dune.
Box of Rats in a Room. That was 1984. Well,
It was yes.
a room of rats in a room. Yes, it was 1984.
Well, I don't know if they actually had the rats or they merely convinced them there were rats.
I don't know because it depends on.
But we do know
did
the
you read the
character-
book?
Of course I did.
Okay. Do you
Character
remember
was
the book?
Winston was his name,
Yes.
and he was terrified of rats.
Yes.
And they used the rats to manipulate his
Yes.
mind,
Yes.
so that he would basically do whatever they wanted
Right.
because he was so terrified of rats.
Yeah.
And so, as a result, the 1984 World Science Fiction Convention in Los Angeles had a rat theme.
Yes.
I don't think he called it RatCon, but
He might have.
it was something like that.
Rat in a face cage, but it's been a while since I read.
And the 1984 WorldCon is very important because that's how I remember the year Lori and I got married.
We didn't get married.
We
that
didn't
year.
get married that year, no. But we also didn't get married in 1981 when we went. Every WorldCon is in a given region every 3 years. And 3 years before 1984 was 1981, and that's when it was in Denver. And Lori and I went to the Denver WorldCon, and we're not yet married.
Yes.
But Labor Day 1982, we got married, and Labor Day 1983, we had our chocolate anniversary.
Okay. My parents married in 1981.
So we're just about as old as we're ancient. We are. I am dying. Yeah. And that is why this is. I'm going to give you the on-break image.
This is the Knights of the Dead live stream.
And I don't know if you can hear us when we're on break or not. Could you guys hear us when we were on break? I'm just curious. We brought up the on-break image just so you could see the full Knights of the Dead.
Okay, you can hear us good.
Knights of the Live Dead screen. So I can leave it up then.
Yep. With Corey and Lori, and of course the graveyard scene from Mordavia.
Moldavia.
From the
Moldavia.
awesome print of the Mordavia from JP.
Yeah, so it's not from the original game. It's from J.P. Selwyn's
Yes.
version of it.
Yeah, because we didn't have anything that cool.
Spooky!
Yeah. Okay.
Zombie Lori, zombie Corey. I feel like a zombie. That's
Yeah.
why we canceled the stream last week.
We were more of a zombie last week. Yeah.
Well, I was still dying then.
Where's Janos? We need to kick this specter behind again. It's his spectral behind
Janos?
again. Yeah.
Janos from Ghostbusters 2.
Oh God, no! There's another honestly scary movie and
Yes.
creepy, Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters 2 actually creeped me out. I don't creep out so easily, but that image, we had the boxed video, and on the back of the box was most of the back of it was the portrait of Vigil the Carpathian, and every time I saw that box, I would just have nightmares that night.
Yeah, I got the willies. Another,
Vigo was scary.
It was a very. It had its moments of being seriously scary, more so than the original movie. And so I was, I'm sorry that they don't rate it as highly, but I consider Ghostbusters 2 really, really high.
So exploring European towns, we wanted to research our games by actually visiting the towns, and in particular, Laurie really wanted to visit Greece and the Greek Isles to research Quest for Glory 5, and we just never made it.
No.
So other people can see the scenes in our games, but we haven't actually seen them.
Yeah, we'd love to, but we think of these things.
We did visit Barcelona a few years ago at my son's behest.
And that was
quite wonderful.
That was wonderful. There's a reason why people go traveling. It's just incredible. So back to
the future?
No, I was going to say Ghostbusters 2 was honestly had one of the most frightening scenes of.
But it was also hilarious. So it was, they did a great job of
I was going to say
comedy.
Another moment of a true bizarre horror was for me, Batman 2. And the scene with Catwoman, where she becomes Catwoman, she falls from the building, lands on her back, and all these cats come out of nowhere to lick and bite her. It was just so creepy, and I can't help thinking that this is the movie that they took the preschoolers to.
Psycho made sweet potato mousse scared of the bathroom.
Ah, okay.
I do occasionally get nervous looking at the closet or the bathroom or such. So.
Yeah, the Batman, Tim Burton's Batman were awesome movies. They were so visual and creative with what he was doing there.
Yeah, the Penguin was quite amazing.
He was. They weren't necessarily
and I like
movies
the
I
backstory
liked.
of the Penguin.
Yes, they aren't necessarily movies that I really put up there on ones I want to watch again, but they were certainly brilliant.
Well, the backstory of Penguin was much like the backstory of Harry Potter, and Laurie doesn't care for that either.
My 5th grade class went to Batman 2 as a group because a rich girl wanted it for her birthday. It was horrifying. It was horrible. Think about it. It's with preschoolers. I went with the preschoolers to this, and I'm going.
It was not
the movie for preschoolers. So that's why my son is a very twisted character, I'm sure. Penguin was very well made.
So Tim Burton was inspired by Nosferatu and Dr. Caligari and the old German horror movies.
Yeah.
I just randomly saw the cabin of Dr. Caligari visiting the chess club, my brother's high school. I was still in we had division between 9th and 10th grades. It was North Campus, and 11th and 12th was South. So I went over to the South Campus, and somebody beckoned me into the room next door to the chess club, and they were showing Cabin of Dr. Caligari, so I sat through the whole film. It's quite good.
Yeah. The Graveyard and Heroes Quest gave me nightmares as a kid.
Well, especially
more than a few adventure game creators are responsible for nightmares I had as a child. God, I'm looking at you, Moriarty, and what you did to Rusty and Moon.
Rusty.
Yeah. And after Batman 2, Tim Burton made his Plan 9 movie. Yeah, well, Tim Burton has a mixed bag with his movies. I've loved some of them, Beetlejuice and that, but a lot of them I can't stand. Poor Rusty. Rusty must have been the hero in the
No, I don't think so. Who was the Rusty? Remind us. We have played Loom.
Oh yes, we really loved Loom.
I even replayed Loom a couple years ago. Would even be on my. Did I get them on Steam? I do. I have Loom on
Rusty
Steam.
Nailbender.
It was one of the characters, and I don't actually remember him by name. Who was napping in a graveyard, and the dragon eats him. Oh, spoilers! Sorry. I shouldn't have
Spoiler
made you
alert!
put out
Yes,
spoilers.
really. Yeah. For all you people that didn't. Oh, speaking of nightmares, I didn't get nightmares for playing games. I was too old when I started playing these kind of games, but and I don't really play horror movies.
Hey, I have a
But the one game that did give me weird dreams was playing Seventh Guest. Well, we would play Seventh Guest together. Corey was manning the keyboard, and we would do the puzzles together. But we had this ancient computer at that time, which was very slow. And we also had a very dark monitor. So the game was, for the movement of the game, which was full motion video, it was very slow. It
would like slowly pan across.
Even slower than that. It was really slow.
It was it was really creepy. And it was years later that we discovered that wasn't actually how the game was supposed to play.
It
That
was
was
just our computer.
Our computer
but
was so
I
slow.
had dreams about going up that staircase with that motion because it was very deliberate and creepy, and so that's when I dreamed of it. Okay. Sleeping son of the head of the blacksmiths. Seventh Guest. Yeah. Ooh, bad movie. Probably. But the game was...
No, bad move.
Bad move.
Watching Seventh Guest when I was a kid.
Ah, yeah.
Shy gypsy, slyly, spryly, tryst by my crypt.
Okay. Yeah.
So actually the puzzle game that we really liked was The Fool's Errand. Fool's Errand, a great game. Sequels I didn't care for quite as much. It did 3x3 and at the carnival.
Skip found an actual live stream that's streaming. What do you know?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we're
Good morning, Valiant Cheese. Welcome.
Skip, we're trying to do a regular schedule every other week, 2 p.m. Pacific time, and it is Pacific Daylight Time today. But next week, because time is changing tomorrow, next week we'll be on Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
But it'll be 2 to 4 p.m. Every other Saturday.
Cliff Johnson is a fantastic puzzle maker, but what made the original one, The Fool's Errand, was his puzzles were so absolutely original, of using the computer in ways that hadn't been done before, in ways he did his puzzles.
But what really made it work to me was the structure of it, that he structured all around tarot cards, and had different each puzzle, each scene represented a tarot card, and then after that he had the sun's map, where you were rearranging the cards in patterns to fill out the map.
Yes, so it was just a very elegantly designed game that was all complete.
Levels within levels.
3 and 3 I love for its aesthetic. It's so quintessentially Macintosh System 7.
And I pre-ordered A Fool and His Money from Cliff Johnson, which was perfectly appropriately named because it took him about 15 years to make the game. And so I pre-ordered it, and it was a long, maybe 10 or 15, I don't know, long time before I actually eventually got the game. But
yeah.
While it was in development, it was the perfect title.
Well, if you get a chance to nowadays find Fool's Errand, I mean, its graphics are...
Fool, says more July.
Yes, I saw that.
Serend.
Yeah.
Was great.
But yes, it was a well-designed game. It's a tour de force for puzzle design. It still will hold up.
So I painted myself into a corner trying to make the greatest of all time puzzle games that was better than The Fool's Errand and better than Castle of Dr. Brain. And as a result, I haven't made the game. But yeah, I decided that when I was doing Castle of Dr. Brain, I said I really wanted to have a database type thing where instead of having a puzzle where you fill in the equation into the computer, that it would randomly generate any of hundreds of different problems. You would have to solve the one that was actually generated. And I discovered that there was actually a really good reason why I did it the way I did it, because you end up with puzzles that are well balanced and that work and that are hopefully kind of fun. And also that at the time I didn't want people just to be able to read a walkthrough and do it, but you can for Castle of Dr. Brain.
Which is a good thing. We never would have finished, or at least got as far as we did in the game without it.
But in reality, most people kind of like to use walkthroughs. When I get stuck in a game, I'll use a walkthrough. Because why be stuck?
Darn, we did not watch Big with Tom Hanks. I did.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I watched at least portions of it.
On an airplane or something like that? I know the premise.
What did we think about the computer game feature in the movie? I don't remember it that well.
No.
He
The
played
one
a game?
movie we laughed at, but thought was a fun movie, was War Games.
Oh, War Games, yeah, good film. And the Julia Eckler song about
Yeah.
it is wonderful.
Shall we play a game?
Greetings, Professor. Indicate your access, please. Been waiting at the back door for such a long time now. Terminal connection made. How are we feeling today? Log on, Joshua, and enter. Shall we play a game? Yeah.
Yes, how about a nice game of chess? Yes.
But Big reminds me of, well, we've told this anecdote many times before, but it's Halloween again, so we can tell it again. That the spookiest, creepiest moment we had was visiting New York in Las Vegas.
At after midnight.
Yeah, it was like very late at night, probably after midnight. And we went up to, there's a section that's a arcade game for the kids.
No, it's supposed to be like, what is the...
It's Coney Island.
Coney Island. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
Coney Island section.
And so they have all kinds of arcade games. And one of them featured a spooky clown. And another one was the Twilight Zone game. But we didn't know that at the time. All we knew is we wandered up there and we heard this ominous, scary music. And then we heard a clown laughing, and we saw the clown.
And it would be moving, because it was one of those early animatronic.
But that was a clown that was designed to be like the fortune teller in Big. That was the fortune telling machine where you put in a dime or a quarter or whatever, and it gives you a little,
Also,
animates.
what made that scene was the fact that they had vents in the floor where steam would rise to make it look like New York.
Yeah.
And it was just, and nobody was around, because that was what made it, was here you are in the middle of Vegas, and suddenly you're transported.
Back when there used to be people in Vegas, but not this time.
Yeah.
And so all those things came together and made it seem like somebody had made the creepiest video game ever, but it was actually like 3 different things going on at once.
Yeah. In the Big, there was some sort of classical quest like kill the ice giant, big bad guy with a thermal rod.
Thermal pod.
Interesting.
Okay.
I have to say that I have very fond memories of playing Dr. Brain with my mother and brother as well. My son Damien started playing Castle at one point, but he wasn't quite ready for it yet then. Well, that's why games like those are best played with somebody else. I mean, honestly, we played a lot of games together. We played... dungeon crawls and things like that, and it really makes the game.
Temple of Epshai? No, not that far back.
No, not that far.
I did
But,
introduce Lori
Dungeon
to.
Master.
I did introduce Lori to original Advent, Colossal Cave Adventure.
Yes, he did, and I almost destroyed his computer, and I never
You did?
picked it up. Yes, I couldn't figure out how to put in the floppy disk, and I think I took it out or something like that. So yeah. My first introduction to computers was at Colossal Cave Adventure. Period. Yeah.
But what made Lori love computers was when I introduced her to WordStar, and that she could actually type things in the computer and backspace and correct them without any sign that it was ever wrong in the first place.
Instead of the old days of backspacing and having to put the white out.
Use the white out on it.
Yeah, you guys don't know how nasty it was.
I had an IBM Executive typewriter which had variable spacing fonts, so it wasn't a Corona fixed space font. So I had to do half backspaces and stuff in order to do corrections.
Yeah. Those creepy animatronics were creepy. I remember riding some old Garfield ride at an amusement park in Pittsburgh and being creeped out by the old robots. Yeah. And then people used to think that the wax museums were creepy. I mean, they just were, they didn't bug me.
Is it an executive typewriter called a secretary? No, not this one. Yeah, so the IBM Selectric is the better known one, but IBM Executive is what I had.
I had a
and
selector.
inherited from my parents. It was like a $600 typewriter.
My first
originally.
stories were typed on it. Yep. So I think this is
Mechanical typewriter.
It's 3:00. I think we could start showing off the game.
I can't talk anymore, though. I used up my talking.
He used up his voice. He has no more voice.
Still have a cough.
Yeah, we're all glad Lori took to computers. Yeah, my first experience wasn't too thrilling, but, you know, the idea that it was really practical, yeah. Maybe.
So, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a great Infocom computer game. I think Amretsky wrote that one.
Yeah.
Based on the Douglas Adams books. And it has a puzzle to acquire the babble fish, where every time you think you have the puzzle, there's another step to it. So I got there away with the Gree. I said, I come to Ifataya and she says, you will be needing to find some hair from a dead man. Oh, or Lord can read that again.
You will need to be finding some hair from a dead man before I can make you a Gree.
So I went off and found some hair from a dead man. And it was only... And then I came back to her, and she told me, you need some death's head mushrooms. So I finally got around to doing what I should have done in the first place, which is looking in the journal. At my quests achieved, achievements, tasks.
He'll have to cough there. You actually, Blaston actually got the babblefish, but needed a walkthrough for the other parts. Well, it's just, you know.
I had problems with Vogon poetry.
Yeah.
So, read my to-do list.
All right, his to-do list. Ghost dust. Make some ghost dust to make a Gree. Death's head and mushroom. Find a death's head and mushroom to make a Gree. Dead man's hair. Find some dead man's hair to make a Gree. Making Gree. If I want to talk to the dead, I've got to make a Gree. How to talk to ghosts, which is, these are in order, a reverse order of most current to the last. So how to talk to ghosts, and then make it to the science class was his first quest that he actually had.
I'm not sure I ever did.
Oh, wow.
Playthrough.
Yeah.
If I got any accomplished and then done.
You had a lot of things that you got done.
A lot of things that I did.
Yeah.
Get cleaned up.
Get some lockpicks. Sophia, so fine.
Play Poobah. Sophia, so fine?
Yeah.
Or Sophine. Aeolus really seems head over heels about this woman.
Kukenshaba!
Kukenshaba? I swear, he makes these words up. But it's just sneaking, and that could be fun. It's also prudent when enemies are nearby. So I snuck out of there. Now, why am I sneaking? It's because of this tedious way we write these games, is that practice makes perfect. And by sneaking a lot, I'm eventually going to improve my sneaking. But it's also a valuable survival trait. Because I can't figure out how to get over there. What? How can I get out of here?
Click on the shadow there.
I thought so, but the shadow?
Where, Lee? You got caught.
Broken.
You broke the game, Corey. How could you break the game?
I'm in the doorway. It should take me out. Well, that's exciting. It has been sitting here for more than a half an hour. So I went and did some more saves. Gree ingredients I had. Mm-hmm. So I actually went and got all the things. And looking in my inventory, I have Death's Head Mushroom.
My friend in Australia.
I have a half of a pirate map that I found somewhere. I have some dead man's hair. What else did I eat? Ghost dust. I got some dust from a ghost. I have a cat burglar goat. I didn't realize that. I just picked that up along the way. So I could probably put on that belt.
I would equip it, yes. Yeah.
And what does it do? Deep blue belt is highlighted by pale blue stitching and a black cat design in the silver buckle. It's completely magical, adding slightly to both defense and stealth. That sounds useful.
Yeah.
So if I go to my character sheet, it will see my defense has a blue up arrow, as does stealth and perception, meaning that I have magical buffs that are either temporary ones from potions or from equipment to permanent ones from equipment that are raising those stats. My defense is not very good. This character is not very combat oriented. I'm slightly injured, but only a little, 30 out of 39.
Morchwise says, I have to appreciate the fact that Hitchhiker's Guide took advantage of the fact they expect players will mistype at least one command and made that into a plot point. Wow. Yeah.
Well, it's really a terrible game because at the very beginning of the game, you have to get the junk mail. If you don't get the junk mail, you are dead man walking.
Yes. It has the big flaw there.
So it's got a lot of dead man walking stuff, but the absurdity of the book kind of goes along with. So I come into my room and Aeolus says,
have you heard about the thefts at the school? 2 people in my music theory class said they had things stolen from their room.
well, and that's just as I walk in, he says that. So I walk up to Aeolus and say, hey, Aeolus.
Maybe.
Talk to Aeolus.
I can't find my favorite panpipe. Do you think we were robbed?
Have you tried searching through some of the junk in the room?
I looked around, but I didn't see them anywhere.
Talk about thefts.
No.
I heard there was a thief going around the school. Mr. Turk seemed to think it was one of the students.
It sounds like Mr. Jerk, yeah. But who would do such a thing? Besides, dorm room doors are supposed to be protected against lockpicks. It would take a really skilled thief to pick these locks. How could they do it?
You know what they say. Practice, practice, practice. Glad you're feeling better now.
It may seem like I'm better. I can smile when I choose, but deep down inside, there's a pain I can't hide. I've got the broken-hearted blues.
What song is that based on?
I don't know which one that one is.
Obviously a blues song. On the other hand,
My songwriting ability is improved.
yeah, they say you have to, you gotta have the blues to be able to
Yes.
write a song.
Defense and stealth +5 for the cat burglar belt, yes.
So, I'm going to search through his pile of clothes and junk. I truly doubt that any thief could steal Aeolus's panpipes from this room. You'd never find it in this clutter. Hey, what do you know? No pipes. I was sure they'd be here, too. Well, there's certainly plenty of mess around here to sort through. The next real question is where to check next. Clean up the pile. No way I'm wasting my time cleaning up Aeolus' mess. He needs to do it.
There's an AIF game by Emily Short where you're able to change items by removing, adding, changing letters in their name. Yeah, I've been meaning to...
Redsky did one like that also. Had one where you had a L remover or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I felt slightly guilty in my recent full reputation playthrough leaving Aeolus without a girlfriend, and I didn't even choose Esme. How sad.
I'm going to search this other pile. 6 pairs of dirty socks. No wonder this room has a locker room smell. And you can search again. Copy of Playbard magazine with the loot as the centerfold. Right. Search again. Aha! I see all those panpipes. And now I can either tell them about them or hide them deeper. Which would you do? Let's hide them deeper. I didn't do that last time. Hide the panpipes deeper. I'll hide these panpipes deeper, so I won't have to listen to Aeolus play them again. I would have gotten rep with Aeolus if I actually found them for him and gave them to him.
Oh, well, you just lost rep.
But
What time is it?
it was 10:30.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go to sleep because I had actually tried to go to... Huh? What? Did I hear something? No, I guess it must have been a dream.
Why are we this early in the game? This is not about dark, Nights of the Dead. As I was saying, apparently the school...
It was all about getting the Gree-Gree.
Well, yeah, school thief... right, not going to...
It's all about the school thief. We'll just step through this.
Okay.
We learned about traps.
Ah.
Ask about catching the thief. What are we supposed to do? He's no ordinary thief. Much of what he's stealing is apparently valueless. If the thief seems reasonable, find out who he is and why he is committing the crimes. If he seems dangerous, observe and avoid him, and let me know what you have found.
So, at any rate, yeah.
Etc.
Yeah. But you were going to make the gree-gree, so... You have the ingredients.
Let's see if I can go find... I probably don't have a school uniform, and I think I have a quest to get a school uniform, so I better sneak through the...
Time is increased.
Nice to the people you meet on your way up.
Just taking a quick stretch break to say a few rounds of saying hello. So hello, hope you're doing well. Well, thank you for showing up.
Sir
Sir Highbury.
I just wave, but you won't see me because I don't have my
Yes,
camera on.
because we're just
Oh, we
playing
had a
the game.
camera on here before.
Well, you...
It's probably just not on top.
Yeah. Oh, no, look who it is. You just... All right, fine. So, at any rate, yeah, we're just going to be...
Okay, can you see us now?
Well, we probably can, but they can't see the game.
How about that game?
That
there we
game,
go. Now
yeah.
you can see everything.
Oh, yeah, Turk's there, so you'll have to sneak past him. Although, what time is it? It's just in the afternoon. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but he'll make me wear a uniform if he catches
He'll
me.
make some snide remark, if nothing else. Yes, classical quest for glory crawling. Yeah, indeed. You know.
Actually, when we asked the animation studio to give us a sneaking character, they had a complete...
Ooh, I managed to pull off giving away the 3 one and only rings and not getting called out for it, despite Sean declaring his love.
Well, good for
Very
him.
good. I mean...
We learned from World of Warcraft you always run everywhere.
Well. So, Mr. Shanshan, tell to me, what do you know of the school thief? Mr. Turk, he tells everyone that the disbarred bards be the thieves. Then again, Mr. Turk, he says many, many things, but not all things he says be true. You are not the school thief. That I know.
You want to find out how she knows I'm not the thief? How do you know I'm not the thief?
You walk with a wolf and a jackal, Sean. For now they walk side by side, snarling at each other. When they part company, it will be your choice of which one to follow.
Ooh, that's mystical. What does that mean?
It means, Mr. Shanshan, that you are not yet a thief. You have not yet chosen your own path. Eshu watch over you, Sean.
Who's that shoe?
All my answers will just end with questions from you. For now, be happy that you know what you do really matters. The future comes closer with every step.
Now, what I didn't have was an option to make a gree-gree.
Alright, first time viewer, Wirebrain says, I'm a big fan of your games and looking forward to your next game. You two are some of my favorite game masters. And congratulations on your new vacuum company.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
The Coal Vacuum Company?
Eureka. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. When you want to sneak around, bright red hair and lightly colored clothes are just what you want to wear.
Absolutely.
Eshu? Gasoon tight?
So I actually had it in one of my first D&D games. I got a magical vacuum cleaner. And in fact, it didn't say Eureka on it. It said Hoover.
Ah, yes.
And so I read that aloud and said Hoover, and it started to float up in the air because it was hovering.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the magic word.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually had to exit that conversation because that conversation was all about the thief, because that's the important topic of the day. And this is the immense complexity of these scripts Lori writes. When I talk to Afaya again, I now have a new one, make a Grigori option. And this is actually the default conversation tree. But I had to get through the day-specific one to get to it. So very easy to miss things in these games because everything is event triggered.
What do you know about voodoo? Voodoo? You do.
Voodoo.
Do what?
Do you do voodoo?
Yeah. Yes. It
Anyway.
can't be a druid vacuum because nature abhors a vacuum. Yes,
indeed.
indeed.
I have a button that says that.
Yeah.
Why do witches ride broomsticks? It's because nature abhors the vacuum.
Yes.
So, Sean says, I have all the ingredients needed to allow me to speak with the dead.
Hola! I will make a green for you. Just wait here a bit.
Ooh, the screen went black.
Voodoo seems like a bunch of hoodoo, but you do you. Okay, that works. Here is your gree-gree, Mr. Shanshan. With it, you will understand what the duppies they be saying. Keep this in mind. Every time you speak with a duppy, you grow a little weaker. Do not have a long discussions with them, you hear me? I do not want to see a Mr. Shanshan duppy.
Nod. So, we have a gree-gree. I better save the game.
Even better.
New save.
We do something for us. We do something for you.
Got. Breathe.
Nice to be able to make you two laugh, given how often you two did the same thing for me over the years. Yeah. Well, we enjoy what we do too. Yeah. It's the middle of the night here in Mordavia, so I have to crawl back into my crypt. Well,
Let's see if I can get out of the,
Oscar, thank you for showing up.
I am worried about the fact that we had this game not working a minute ago, so things are broken. How dare they be? You spend all this time making a game, trying to make it perfect, and it never is. Down the stairs to the school store.
I managed to be best friends with everyone in this game, excluding Soshi and Jerk. Yeah, well. You can...
The door is locked.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, young master. The door to wine cellar is always locked during the day. School rules. After supper time, though, it will be unlocked. Come back during the evening times and Gregor will let you through. Oh, well. So, every time I want to do something, I can't. But meanwhile... let's save the game on the Noctes de Mortuis.
I think originally we were going to have you be able to be friends with Sosi, but it was so convoluted to do that, and it wasn't worth keeping up with it. Yeah. So I don't know. Yasker says, feel free to contact me on email or here on Twitch. Yeah, you be sure when I go streaming, I'll stream Quest for Glory, maybe even the first game. Great. Good.
Well, Stream Hero U. Stream Hero U will still get some revenues.
Yeah, really.
So I am sneaking into...
Didn't do the electrics. Yeah.
You got to do all of them. Got to do science, first aid, and magic.
Yeah, but to get all
Different
the equipment. But no, to be best friends with everybody, he didn't do the electives, and that's because it's very hard, to do everything at the same time, and that's the whole idea of this game was that you would replay it and find different things that you didn't do before to try out. So,
but I was talking about the way the game changes constantly as you go along. Here it is, the Knights of the Dead. And all of a sudden,
now
it has been decorated
There's your linen ghosts.
For the Noctes de Mortuis.
Yeah, and all the candles are different.
Look at the linen ghosts.
There's... Remind me to give my compliments to the decorating committee.
Let's sense magic. He's apparently taking magical class.
I guess so. That says what... Wait a second. This is a different game because he was taking science in the last
what's the second half? He might have taken the magic elective for the second half.
You think?
I'm a little ashamed to have mistaken Frippery for magical potential.
Huh.
Sneak around and see more of these decorations.
I was helping a streamer through Quest for Glory 4 for Halloween, and I want to know something. It was obvious Dogda had a different voice actress at times. Was that you? Yes. I had to do the filler lines because they just missed.
There were a couple lines that just got missed.
And and the problem was I couldn't listen to the original voice to get her, try to match her intonation. So I
she did it the way she thought the character should be, but had not actually.
Yeah. No! Poisonous linen ghosts!
Said, I hope these lanterns weren't made from the skulls of former students. I mean, it would be a shame. They were so bright. All that lantern light makes it hard for me to skulk around. That's a Josh Mandel pun.
Yes, there.
Sense magic. I'm pretty sure this isn't magical.
What time is it?
It's not magical after all. It's just cheesy decoration. It's not that late, I don't think. It's 2:20 in the afternoon.
It's just after a class.
Yeah, we've just come out of class. There's a Kirk stand.
Yep.
So they did, JP made all these,
the 2D props that are made to look 3D.
Yep.
They're with, maybe that one, it's hard to say. That's so good. That middle one is, you could tell that's a 2D prop on the stairs, but I don't know. Let's go see those lights. Those torch stands actually look pretty 3D, and we did have to have some 3D. Okay.
Oh, that's cheerfully demented.
And I'll walk behind it.
Yeah. Yes, I will walk behind it just to see how 3D this is. If I can. It's going to walk. I can't click on it instead.
That is a problem. Okay. Look at that! That's really very good.
I think that's actual 3D.
I don't think it is. I think it's it's the transparent background, but I can't tell for
I
some.
don't know. It looks 3D to
Yes.
me.
I heard your voice and it just clicked. Ha ha ha! You must have a good ear for that. Yes.
Oh, it was a point and click
Yes. Thanks
game.
for
That's
confirming.
why.
I know game design can be messy so many times the first hand. Yeah. Yeah. Is it wrong whenever you say what time is it that I wind up looking up the real time? Yeah.
2:27 p.m.
Yeah.
That's pretty close, or it's 3:20 actually.
Well, yeah.
I can fast forward a little. Let's see. Mr. Trick is not here today, which is interesting.
He doesn't like the Knights of the Dead.
Ah.
I'm pretty good with voice actors too. I do pay attention to voices.
Voice actors.
And when I hear somebody repeating, doing voices, I can generally tell if they're the same actor. Oh, you're going to waste time.
Yeah, I'm going to run
do
over
some
here to the
exercise.
practice room and open the door. To listen to that and gain some. Nobody here. Let's try a barbell.
Placements of objects, backgrounds, and whatnot were pretty solid. I was looking
With the
for breaks and
barbells.
only
No way, I
found
better
two.
start with these small weights over there. Okay, so, in fact, this is a different game because in the previous playthrough I was in day 10 and I was already up to barbells.
Ah, okay.
This is day 30 and I'm not up to barbells.
Okay.
Practice with the kettlebell.
Fitness increased.
And show everyone how it's done. And time has passed. It is now 3:37 p.m., which is, but we went too far because it's only 3:21 in real world.
Well.
But at different time zones, different.
One minor cosmetic error with some barrels, one out of bounds moment in the catacombs I just couldn't duplicate. Yeah, that's a problem with things like the catacombs were very, very complex and the geometry was complex, so it was really hard to test.
Our animation of this game was very minimal and simple until Carolyn Van Azeltine did the practice room and proceeded to add in animation of walking the tightrope and so on. Everything was animated. Take some sand from the sand pit. They deal very harshly with students who steal this imported sand. At least that's what I heard from an unimpeachable source. I don't remember that line. And all of a sudden we had to up the level of the rest of the game to match it.
We were going to make this a very simple game. We were going to make,
We were going to use tiled graphics.
Well, yeah, but at this point when Caroline came on, we were going to just, you clicked on the things, and then we would just go to a black screen and say, oh yeah, you upped your abilities, and not actually show anything. And then she wanted to show everything, so we kept adding, and because really game design is collaborative, you have a team, making suggestions of what they think needs to be done for their area, and
And who are we to say no?
because
Because we want it all too.
Yeah, anything that makes the game better, because we're very fond of here.
28, 29, 30. Obviously, this is the origin of Maximilian's lines.
Ah.
How many steps are there? So Lori decided to have random lines every time you go up the stairs. That you got something else. And originally I said, that's kind of annoying. And then I started playing and said, no, it's just kind of fun.
Well, and because I can't stand the same lines over and over again, it bugs me. It breaks the reality. What's the dinner?
Menu for today calls for marate, or marete. You can't tell because it's typed cuisine. Squid stew, omeletta, and grapes. Not too sure about that squid part. Open the door.
Yep.
There's ghosts in here.
There are. Ark, I've been slimed.
Think of it as a big sloppy kiss because you are so sweet.
That's Shadow, the dog from the painting in Darla's Den. He's one of the protective spirits of the castle. Well, he protected me for my supper. He licked my plate clean, if you overlook puddle of gruel he left behind. I will be so glad when the Nights of the Dead are over. I don't like having ghosts hanging around everywhere I go.
The protective spirits like Shadow, Voodoo, and Leo are around all the time. You just can't always see them.
Don't click off here. These two people, the two people in the background are backers who wanted to be ghosts in the game, and specifically they were amateur cooks. So it seemed really
we
natural.
decided to put them in a kitchen scene.
Yeah.
And of course the dogs were dogs belonging to some of our backers.
Yeah. I really didn't want to know that, Thomas. Thank you very much.
This is unacceptable. How can anyone stand these ghosts around everywhere? Clearly, Katie, you aren't the only one annoyed by the ghosts.
Okay, so maybe they aren't all that bad.
Anything that Mr. Turk doesn't like, everyone else should like. Out! Everyone out of here!
Anyone who can stand these ghosts is obviously a slacker. There we have ghosts.
Ghost Peter the Swaggerful.
Who you gonna call?
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Listen at the ghost. This ghost has a jaunty air to his floating as ghosts go. He seems pretty confident. Let's listen to the ghost. You can one day be great, but not as great as I.
How do you know that?
No one is as great as I.
Once again, backers were the ghosts, and they got to say what they felt.
And
like.
We gave them a line to make and put it into the game.
Yeah, and then we had to make them work. Ghost owls are always saying boo, boo. Huston makes me feel good. Okay.
So actually, when they did the Leisure Suit Larry Reloaded, one of the reviews complained that the whole game seemed like it was a backer thing.
I'll be seeing
you, or seeing through you anyway.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there another ghost here?
No, we could go up to the Darla's Den. See if
I don't think the ghost doesn't hang out there. What floor?
Well, there's the ghost in the basement. But you can only get there at night. Oh,
right.
But it's after 7.
It's after 7.
Yeah, we can go there. We could have gone. Oh, there's a ghost.
There's a ghost, yeah.
Saduk Gora. It matches that portrait, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, look at the portrait. Saduk Gora, stalwart defender. Oh, there's more from it. And there's the quote from the backer. Done. And then we have a ghost.
I'll go talk to the ghost.
I will go talk to the ghost.
Now, we can talk to these ghosts only because Sean has made the Gree-Gree.
Earlier in the game, to
the ghost. Or even at this stage of the game, if you haven't made the Gree-Gree, they would just make sounds that you wouldn't understand.
Yes. Hope. Never lose hope. It makes life worth living.
Sounds like you had a pretty rough life. Was it worth living?
Hero you gives hope.
All right.
Averdade, first-time viewer, said, QF Quest for Glory had a huge positive impact on my life. That's a
childhood.
Good. Thank you so much for making such great games. I'm looking forward to introducing the Quest for Glory kids series to my kids. I haven't played Hero U, but this looks great. Well, hopefully you will be inspired to play it because, as we say...
And since we're supposed to talk about game development, the significance of all this stuff with the talking to ghosts and so on is that these are not new scenes. In the early days of adventure games, what they did is every time you wanted to have something change, you added a scene. What Lori brought into it was event-driven games, where you have the same scene, so you're going through the Great Hall of school, and it's different all the time. It's different during the day and at night, and it's different when events are going on, like the thief in the school. And in this case, the event is the Knights of the Dead, and all the ghosts. We should actually go to the library and talk to the librarian.
Well, I was going to say, if you haven't seen this game, it's like examine the statue. And there's something being near the statue that makes me feel calm and happy.
It looks suspiciously similar to Arana from...
the base of the statue says Arana. She shared joy with the world and made it a safer place for all of us.
So we decided that we could not refer to our previous games because, they were all done as work for hire for Sierra. But if our fans wanted to talk about the games, well, we'd be perfectly happy to put that in.
Yeah, well, actually, we put these in.
This plaque says, dedicated to the hero in all of us, which I did.
Well, yes, to a point. Do I really want to be a hero?
Which, of course, is a reference to the original title, Hero's Quest, So You Want to Be a Hero.
There's those Lindy ghosts.
Yeah, they probably look the same.
Look at the Lindy ghosts. Remind me to... Yeah, okay, fine. Those are not the ones that you were looking at before. But we saw in the composer script. Come on. To the courtyard. Come on, get to the... All right, you're in the courtyard. Ooh, another ghost!
Who's that?
Ghost
Ghost Seishin. Konbanwa! Oh, Kanarkon. You honor me. Greetings.
You can do
No,
that.
you can do it. Oh, I am Master Seishin, a tanuki and far traveler. It is good when one such as you seeks wisdom from their elders. Is that tanuki? Oh. How do you know who I am, Master? Okay.
Just because you cannot see me does not mean I cannot see thee. Many things I do, and many things do I see and know, more things than you will ever know. How like your father you are.
You knew my father?
No and yes, yes and no. No, I did not know your father. Yes, I know your father.
What does that mean?
It means, young one, that you should honor your parents.
Wasn't that in the Bible?
And he went away.
Oh, and we took damage. Now, why did we take damage? It's because we were warned, if you talk to a ghost for too long, it will steal a little of your soul. You can pet the tanuki while you're here. This plaque reads, among the most recognizable and ribald?
Ribald, I always thought was.
I always thought it was ribald, but it's probably ribald.
Okay.
Images in Nihon folk art. Tanuki, a rotund, jolly little bear-like animal. Wearing a large straw hat and carrying a bottle of sake.
Ribald, because this loincloth thing does not cover enough of what is between his legs.
Ah.
And it's, they make those things with ball sacks so huge that they have to drag him or take a wagon to carry him behind them.
Like the Scotsman joke, is it true what they say about what is worn underneath the kilt?
Yeah.
No, lassie, nothing's worn underneath.
It's in perfect working order.
Tanuki are well known for their sacks.
Yeah.
We get them at Fifth Avenue.
A tanuki? Master Shei-Sin said he's a tanuki as well. Is it supposed to be him? Doesn't look much like him, but I guess not all tanuki are the same.
And then, of course, you see that driven. If you had not had the counter with the tanuki with Master Seishin, you would not have gotten this line.
So many of these lines are embedded underneath things, so that you've had to actually have done something in the game to come to these lines.
And in fact, it is impossible in one playthrough of this game to see all the lines.
Shei-Sin is the most consistent damage of ghosts. Wound up to talking to him a lot because of all the several options, and the damage was always there, even as much undead resistance as I could manage. Well, that's
possibly
just
not implemented
probably
properly.
not implemented properly. Yes, tanuki are well known for their sex. Yes, indeed.
I don't know these things.
No.
I'm a sweet little innocent. Now, this was one of the hardest rooms to program in the game. You can see where Sean is passing underneath the thing there. He went up those stairs. Yes. All these things. This is all... It was originally 2D. Now, this one, the painting of... we'll examine the painting. This bone is not in the painting when you first see it. You have to give the ghost dog the bone. Don't do you there. Sense magic. Nothing magical. That should have been magical.
He does say, I get a feeling of happiness.
Ah.
The second line. Your mother is awake, so...
No, Lori's going to the railing light. Mother stirred in her sleep briefly, possibly because we're talking. What about this painting?
What? That's an interesting
Librarian
painting.
says,
do not disturb the painting. That's quite a painting.
It's spooky.
It is spooky, and it's...
Now, this is the book of lore.
Yes.
Read
This
the
book, don't bother reading the book, but this book gives you a continual history about the castle and the Knights Luminar, and...
The spoiler is that this book is possibly the most important piece of lore in the entire game.
Yes.
That future games depend on events mentioned in this book.
Yeah.
If we ever write the other games.
Yeah.
If we ever write the games, they will elaborate on
Yeah.
things that happen in that book.
Yes, I got the sense that the library was very complex and impressive from a creations perspective. Yes. The problem is, of course...
It's layers.
That we let artists do what they want. I mean... JP created a beautiful, design for the thing, and then we had to figure out how the heck to make it work.
Well, we designed the game to look like MacGuffin's Curse, that it would be a top-down exploded view.
Yeah.
And our art director hated it. Said, I don't want to make a game like that. Let's do isometric. So we decided to do tiles, but do it an isometric perspective. And then we started discovering all the problems that brought in.
So we constantly had to redesign what we were doing.
Well, we had a programmer that wanted to make everything 3D, and his 3D examples were ugly, but really we just needed an artist to make the 3D.
Yeah, and we did get artists to make the 3D.
And so eventually, he was right. We ended up doing 3D.
Yeah, this is a 3D room.
So,
and it is awesome. I don't want to look at the statue. And there's...
There he is again. Your father was very happy to see you. He's
Yep.
very proud of you. Uh-oh. And hurt -4.
Yep.
But did we see our father?
We didn't see our father.
No.
That's a bad
Well, maybe we did.
bug.
I might have.
You might have?
I might have.
Okay, well, hopefully so.
You're supposed to do it on the Nights of the Dead, but I think I did it the day before the Nights
Ah,
of the Dead.
okay, in this setting. The courtyard is great. Oh,
I
good.
kind of accidentally ended up... discovering
Development
who
is
my
no
father
fun if you don't let your collaborators indulge themselves sometimes. It is true, and it's all about the synergy of everybody working together, contributing to something they want to make better. And so therefore you really have to, go with people, say, okay, let's trust their judgment and try and make things work.
was. Okay, I'm going to quit the game here. And the reason is that it is almost 4 o'clock. We will be quitting soon. And we need to actually play a game with our studio audience. Coming back to the webcam, we need to play a game with our studio audience because that's the thing we do in this streams. You don't want to just watch us play games. They probably would actually, but oh well.
And the Med Sea is rife with nasties. Yes, there's the Med Sea is a circle of would-be portals that lead to other worlds. And
It
so,
is?
yes, it is.
I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, I know. It isn't just the Med Sea,
This
of
is
course.
why they call it lore, is because the only one who knows it is Lori.
Yes,
Or maybe that's why she's named Lori.
could be.
She knows all the lore.
Could be.
Somebody should set up the frames for me to play.
Yeah, well, we should. When you were you the first to allow importing character stats from your game to game? No, we didn't get. We aren't the first. Where did we get that inspiration from? From Wizardry, who did it poorly. Wizardry had the idea of importing your characters over from the first game. However, what they didn't get right and what they didn't think about is that it was a game of stat building, and so they already had, at the end of the game, you're already maxed out with your stats. So they said, okay, well, you
and
can
powerful
play
spells
you
here.
can play your game again, but you have to start all over. We had to take all your characters and bring them back down to...
Yeah, so in the first game you learn Tilt-A-Weight, which is basically a nuclear annihilation spell. It's equivalent to the meteor swarm in D&D.
or in our case, it's equivalent to whatever the name we gave it in the game.
Nuclear annihilation, I don't know.
No, whatever, Yeah.
I'll have a bit of root beer.
You will.
Clearly don't have nearly enough
Any
sugar in
rate,
my life.
so yes, it was
Thermonuclear blast.
thermonuclear blast. Yes, that's it.
That one.
Yes, the equivalent in the thing. But so they had to take all your characters and put it back to base 0 with no spells, and it was just so poorly implemented and so frustrating because we had wanted to play our characters. So it was the inspiration and the frustration that made us, add this feature onto this game.
Yeah, so every time I see that somebody says, your game's inspired me to make my own, I think, well, I guess that's because we didn't do it right, because they need to make their own.
Yes, that was always our theory of why we got into game design and development.
We can do it better.
We got it because somebody surely can do it better than this. It was the frustration of how things were implemented and what we thought could be done better. And of course, at the time, it would be very difficult to do the things we wanted to do. We came in at the right time, in the right era, and the right level of computer
Yeah,
programming.
when we started Sierra, if we had been there 5 or 10 years earlier, we would have been making basically text adventures. But we started at Sierra just at the point where they were upgrading from
Let's
4
switch
color to
chairs.
16 color.
I don't want to look like I'm
You don't want to be a gigantic
head. No, I look like I have
disembodied
been
head.
Disembodied head, which is rather appropriate
Unless
for
I'm
this
just sitting
day.
back
but-
is the way I did it. You
Yeah.
were up here
I
reaching
know.
the keyboard.
Yeah, well, there's that.
You can't reach the keyboard.
Hey,
now.
lovely people, welcome, Ronald.
So anyway, what were we talking about?
We were talking about thermonuclear blast and studio audiences and the save game and restore games.
Something like that. Wizardry.
Yeah, wizardry.
Dungeon Master. There was a Dungeon Master 2, but it had the same problem. Is a Dungeon Master 2 assumed your character had already learned all the spells and abilities. They had a Dungeon Master, and so it started out at a level of difficulty that was just too hard.
Yeah. As a game dev, I've always think people are inspired by games that they can do, something similar but different. Yes, it is an inspiration. But at our era, there was nobody doing it the way we wanted to play a game.
And we always have people coming and asking us. They say, well, I want to make a tabletop game with the settings of Quest for Glory, and we're like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you make your own world?
But then again, I can see it, and
They identify with it. Because of the way we did them.
And yes, honestly, we're identifying with the mythologies and things, so we're pulling from what we love too. Here's your cat back. Okay. The thing from Quest for Glory that I have inspired me were appreciating and enjoying the atmosphere, tone, and the density of humor. If I approach the bar you set for things in the stuff I make, then I'm happy. Well, great.
Hey.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of Valiant Cheese...
That level of detail.
Speaking of Valiant Cheese, who had that quote...
Why, Valiant Cheese created this tool for us called the Phrase Flummoxer, his name. And this was based on a game we played in one of our early streams. And so, as a result, instead of having different games every stream, we played the same game over and over again.
Well, we were doing it then, too.
Yeah, this is similar
All hail the cheese, yes.
Sort of similar to Hangman, sort of similar to Wheel of Fortune, where you guys are going to guess letters, and when you're all done, you're going to get this incredibly long phrase, and somebody's going to shout out what it is.
All right, so I've had a few tries to reproduce the not saving problem and match it, but I haven't had any problem. I haven't found it.
It was the screen resolution was the problem.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Some reason people play Star Wars RPGs. The worlds are fun and races are interesting. Same with yours. Yes, ditto.
Yeah, we really enjoyed playing Star Wars: The Old Republic. That's just because of the
story mode.
Well, story mode, but because of the characters that we are followers.
Yes, it was all about the story and the characters. It's throwaway.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So now we have a quote.
This isn't a magic magic though. This is a
phrase
flummoxer. Okay, we're going to have you type in exclamation point play.
The images were too big? I don't know. Was it the images were too big?
I don't know.
No, we can't remember yet.
It was putting it out on part of the screen. It was revealing the background
Yes,
image.
it was revealing it. /play, yes, or bang play. While being from shadows would be appropriate, let's hope it's not, yes. Probably, yes. All right, so... I hope it's not, because you'd probably get it that fast. You have the whole game memorized?
Practically. This phrase is most likely from one of our games, but occasionally we pull out an appropriate quote from the event.
From something else.
The event being Knights of the Dead. So it is something to do with the theme of the talk, but it could be from anywhere.
Yeah, we try to make these appropriate to our theme.
All right, we have 7 people so far have typed the exclamation point play. We really need everybody to play.
Yeah, if you're watching, you should be playing. I mean, it's not like you can lose this game. You can, and there is no Mr. Turk to be irritated at you in this version.
That's true. There's no Mr. Turk in this one.
Yeah.
There we go. There's another player.
Yay! Okay, good. Welcome. Yes, everybody.
I'm going to close this queue. We'll reopen it later because I don't think people will get it in 10. Actually, we're getting more people. Yay. I don't think we're going to get it in 10 people, but we will see.
We will open the queue again later.
Closing the queue, and then I will pick the first 3 names.
And the first 3 names are surprisingly Schumann 3D Blast, Wirebrain, and MCO. Wow, we got some new things in order.
Okay.
Ricky will need to open the queue again before you can get in, so wait a second. All right, Schumann is going with Q and Z.
He likes to get those out of the way.
And there is no Q.
So we don't give him the Z?
We don't give him the Z. So then we go to Wirebrain. What two letters do you want to try to find on this screen?
There's no Q anywhere else.
There's no Q. There may or may not be a Z. Any letters? Yes.
Any letters
Anything you think
of the English alphabet.
Yes, it could be letters or vowels. We don't make a distinction, but you'll only get the first iteration of
you
it.
get only the first one.
All right. Wirebrain goes, I think, I and D.
I.
There is an I.
And D.
And there is a D.
Both of them are in there, so you guess 2 more letters.
You could guess 2 more, yeah. All but Q. We know that's out. Yes, we know that Q is not there.
Now, a letter, if a letter is in the phrase, but there are no more of them, it will turn yellow.
Yes. So you have to watch. We're giving you subtle clues here, thanks to Valiant Cheese.
So, Wirebrain can go again.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do. Not the Jeopardy theme.
No.
GI.
G.
There are no G's.
Wow.
So, your turn is
Okay.
done.
And so
on to MCO.
MCO. What 2 letters do you want to find in this large
Or
phrase?
MS-ICO. It could be a Microsoft icon.
Could be. M and S. Speaking of micro.
Soft.
You got
There
it.
you go.
Yes. Now for 2 more letters to unveil this amazing
It already has
phrase.
its I, but there might be a C and an O.
Yeah.
You could put your whole name.
Yeah.
Or not. Anyone got the phrase yet?
Good luck with that. Let it ride. M.
Okay,
There's
there's
another M.
but it's fairly late, so it means that there are no other M's on the second and third lines. Only past that point. And
Oh.
S,
Look
the second
how
S
late
is way
that
down there.
S.
There's an early S and a late S. There are no S's in between. There are no M's in between the M's.
Might have one word. K. So, you got 2 letters. Oop, might have one word. No. Haha.
Neither turned yellow, so MS.
M. There is another
There's
M.
another M. S. And S
more
turned yellow.
S.
There are no more S's.
There were only 2 S's in this phrase. Okay. So,
Woo.
now we need to pick more people.
Oh, more people. Okay, pick some
Ness.
more people. Next.
And that is Blast and Croston, Paul of Colchester, and OSU Brainiac.
So, Blast and Creston.
Okay, one word is either my or me, okay?
Or it could be me as an MI, because, it could be poetic.
Me.
T-U.
T-U.
T.
There is a T.
There's a U.
There is a U. Okay, you may go again.
Go again. Ah, I know, this is clearly Death Star. No.
No, doesn't work. Let's see the next 2 letters. Do you think are in here?
T-I.
T?
T.
Yep.
I.
Yep. You
Both
got
there.
2 there. Okay.
Another 2-letter word. This one's starting with I. That could be in, or is, or it. Or...
That's a fair amount of those things.
There's a lot of
I would
choices.
wager a guess that the first word is dearest.
We've got Death Star. We've got Death Star.
Okay? There's only so much. It doesn't actually work with that one.
R-E.
R.
E. E.
E.
Oh, both those are the very first word.
Okay. All right. That was. You can keep going because you found those 2 letters.
So maybe the first 10 people will get them all.
Well, once we go through everybody's name, we'll open it up, and then you only get one guess, and then we go faster that way.
Okay. T-Y.
T. There's
Y.
a T.
Both there.
There or there. You get to
Keep
go
going.
again.
That's a weird place for a Y.
Yeah. Although, honestly, Y is usually at the end of a word.
Or at the beginning.
No, not at the beginning.
It's the beginning of U.
I understand that.
Rich 10X has typed a couple
yeah.
of words.
Words, yes. He's trying to...
Is that an L-E, I think? L.
or I and E?
No, it's
Oh, it's lowercase. Okay, so it's L. All right, L, and then an E. Did you get the E? Okay, fine. All right. Blaston, you're filling it out.
I know a girl in college named Emily.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to say things like that out loud.
He's already typed it.
I know it, he did.
So I don't know if it's in the phrase, but I did know in college.
Good for you.
Still blasted shirt, and he goes TI. Texas
Instruments are there.
Oh, you have an entire word.
Yeah.
You found the word I.
You found the word I. I hidden in this whole phrase.
Can we get this done in 10 minutes?
Can we? I think we can. Especially when we open this to the crowds.
I don't think we'll do much else, though.
No, we're not going to do much else. Ah, they're thinking about it.
Question says yeah. Why?
Yeah, there's the yeah.
There's another Y.
And there's an A. Yay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Cthulhu, yeah, yeah, Cthulhu.
I knew
yeah,
it was.
Cthulhu. And Young Zothoth. Or Young Sloth in this game.
Yes. For Emily, wherever I find her. Yes.
You find her, yes, that's Simon and Garfunkel. Is YF. Okay, is there another Y?
There is a Y.
Is there an F?
Well, there is.
You have found another full, complete word.
Congratulations.
You have 3 words filled in. Keep going, blasting. He's going to win the game single-handedly.
Yes, yes. Oh, I know what it is, Brainiac says, and Brainiac is coming up. You got to get this before he does.
E-S. You were correct. It was Emily. However, there are no more S's in the phrase. Your turn is over.
Ah, alas. That takes us to Paul.
Paul of Colchester. Followed by OSU and Brescia.
Ah. Okay. P and R.
What's the Beatles song that has Milo in it?
Okay.
Both of those exist. Keep going.
Keep going. Let's see if we can fill this out.
Darn, forgot about the S.
And the price for this episode of this
is the
live
price
stream?
right?
No. Is
the prize. The prize is a digital key to the game Kathy Rain.
Yes.
Is it?
The director's cut. The director's cut, I believe it is.
Kathy Rain director's cut.
O and J.
Orange juice.
We should actually.
There are no J's in this phrase.
Alas.
Your turn is over.
Oh no, it's Brainiac's turn.
OSU Brainiac's turn.
The new version, I believe it's the latest version. Yes, we'll have to actually.
Now we tell him the prize.
Ooh, I only own the original. Yes, now you tell me the price, yes.
And he says C and O.
C and O.
He's going to run the table now.
Let's see if he can.
C. O.
Okay.
Those are both there.
Yeah. Next. We should bring up the game itself, actually.
What game?
Kathy Rain, the director's cut, yeah.
Oh,
We are contacting you in regards of your expiring car warranty.
L.
Yes.
D.
That sounds like it.
All right, let me see. So where do I want to go? Like store.steam?
Yeah, probably.
And look for Kathy Rain director's cut.
That's it.
It's probably something very similar to this. Uh-oh, it's violence, blood, use of drugs, and
this is the extended version. So if you play this, or as I did, watch somebody else play it, because I, can. Yeah. And I much prefer watching somebody else play than actually playing myself and getting my head bonked against the door as I can't figure out. Someone said use of drugs? Dearest Emily, I'd like to add you to my professional network on LinkedIn.
Our stream is no longer suitable for children?
Yeah.
Because we mentioned...
All right. I could open
that someone mentioned use of drugs?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, we're up to LD. All right,
I'm sure he asked another letters, but we
we put in the LD, I think.
We did? That was the last ones he said?
Yeah.
LND, okay, fine.
All right, we need some more letters then from...
I played the original on a tablet. Good game. It's super versatile. Yes, it was an interesting game. It's really worth playing.
He could open the game to find the exact quote, but he prefers to try and trigger his memory by guessing letters. L and D again. Okay, another L. Okay. Another D.
And
you have another word.
Fill that word out. Yeah.
If I could, I surely would stand on the rock where Moses stood. Pharaoh's arms got drowned in. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. And Nell. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Where did the L go? Oh, here.
There.
Second line.
Yep.
Yep, everything's there. Keep going.
Let's fill it out.
H and E.
H and E. Ah.
On a pale horse? Or a pole?
Pole.
Pile.
Pile. A pile of horse.
Pile of horse manure?
Well, of course. Back to the Future. And they're running
Back
jokes.
to the shadows again.
On a pile horse, yeah. Or Paisley horse.
Paisley horse. A. A.
A. Indeed.
A. They are air.
And, of course, this
Yeah.
Kathy Rain director's cut comes courtesy,
Kathy
of course,
Rain, director's cut.
comes courtesy of Roberta, who didn't make it
Roberta
to this
Vaughn?
one. Yeah,
Is she donated it herself?
I don't know if she is or she got the
Or she
person.
got them to donate it?
We don't know which
Who's
one.
the director of Kathy Rain? It probably
The
says
designer, the developer.
the developer, Clifftop Games, publisher Roth Fury. Clifftop Games says Kathy Rain, the director's cut, and Whispers of Machine. Whispers of Machine, I heard was quite good.
Well, at any rate,
Go back
he
to-
was giving N and N.
And an N.
N. There we
Sort of
go.
like M&M, only different.
And only.
We have another word.
Okay, now let's
If
see.
I could only.
Alchemists Anonymous.
If I could read your mind, love. It's not only read your mind. What a tale.
The company still
would sell.
sucks, but EA.
E. E. Oh, and the word was pale.
It was.
Like pale ale.
Yes.
Now, see, now we have an alcohol reference. Now
Like
we're in
a
even more trouble.
ghost from a wishing well. Yes, there's a
Ghost?
Yeah.
Ghost.
from a wishing well.
In a castle dark or a fortress strong, chains upon my feet, the hero will be me. Yeah. What's your next guess? You?
Is he gonna run it?
E&P.
E and P. You got it.
Those are there.
Uh-huh.
Perrier.
Perhaps.
Possibilities.
Provide.
Improvisation. INC. This is a game Lori and I used to play. Say I still do sometimes. Pierce. We have a word.
Whispers of the Machine was made outside of one puzzle. Loved how your dialogue changed with your alignment sizzles. Power, short and sweet.
Nice.
W and E.
Oh, gambling. Wee. W. Is there a W? That's a rare letter. There is one.
Yes, yes.
And an E. You have them both.
Yes, E's not a bad bet.
Dearest Emily, wan and pale, if I could only pierce the target with my arrows.
The arrow of love. Or the error of love. I was right. Okay.
All right.
Another gamble.
V and E. Maybe it's not so gambly as he says.
No.
V and
E.
E are there. He's worked out the rhyme scheme.
Could be. But it doesn't rhyme at this thing. Pierce the
Pardon?
heavens! Who do you think I am?
Pierce the vet.
I know.
I-N-L. I-L.
What do you know?
It's a word. Oh,
An
F.
O-F.
I think he's starting to get this.
Yes, I think so.
I'm guessing that he's starting to guess this.
Wild anime
If I
music
could
plays.
Pierce the heart, love. Wild anime music. I can't do anime music.
No, you can't.
On F, we got that. I'm losing the rest, so still guessing. Yay!
Yes, he doesn't-
I'm glad it's not obvious.
Yes.
If it was obvious, then, why bother having a phrase at all?
Right, yeah.
We had to work to find one.
Yeah.
It took me minutes to choose a
It took
phrase.
you a half an hour or so.
A. B.
No,
Oh,
lost!
OSU and OSU's turn, but that was quite a turn.
That was. Look at that. All right. So our next three people.
Our next four people
Our
are
people are Dr. McKiller, Valiant Cheese, K-Dubs, and Cosmic Void. 3.
So, Dr. McKellar, you may guess some letters.
Pierce the Heavens is a cool anime. Okay, cool. Have at, folks. Yep. Go, Doctor.
Well done, OSU.
Thanks for playing. Next time, be more careful. First time chat from viewer. Roberto
ER.
Williams.
Well, yes, of course, when King's Quest IV was being developed, the version we had in-house had somebody had taken the Roberta naked in the hot tub from the back cover of the original Leisure Suit Larry, and or I guess soft porn adventure, and animated that.
Oh,
and
well.
had that for all the death messages.
Yes, all the death messages.
So in-house, every time Roberta put you to death, she told you from the hot tub.
Roberta Williams herself has sent me a death message.
Oh.
My life is complete. Owen L. says that.
Roberta Williams says, don't tell my secrets.
Ah, okay.
It wasn't your secret. It was the secret of the nasty developers at Sierra. OL. Yes, it was the nasty developers at Sierra that made
Keep
fun
going
of
for
her.
it. Keep going. Yes, it was making fun of her.
And Roberta Williams is working on a new game, so since she's here, we should say.
Yeah.
That is going to be VR, and otherwise it's a
Schumann
mystery.
says, Dearest Emily, wan and pale, my skills with lockpicks never fail, but here in Racier's deepest jail, I'll make do with a rusty nail. Yay!
That's a phrase!
Right.
But it isn't this one.
Oh, well. I've been outed as an impersonator. No! Ah, now I remember. Ha ha. TA.
But no, the real Roberta Williams is
TA.
really working on a game. TA?
Yes.
I think I put it in TA.
Well,
Oh, no, that's an L. T.
T.
A.
There's an A. Yes!
Yay! We have 2 more letters.
K. I was really surprised that this username was available. If she wants it, I will happily give it to her. Yeah, well, you probably...
didn't have to admit that. We could have assumed you were Roberta Williams all along.
Yes, one word left to be right. Yes, the veil of mortal eat.
No, Mortal Meats. This is Calvin.
Oh, my God.
This is Calb.
Ah.
All right, Rich Gen X. Dearest Emily, wan and pale, if I could only pierce the veil of mortal death to save my love.
Ah. Well, any rate, McKiller says M and O.
M and O. Oh, there's no M, and I shouldn't have put in the O. Oops, sorry.
Oh, well.
No M.
Oh, well. We're switching over
We're on
to
Valiant
cheese to finish out this phrase. And we're running over time.
Uh-oh.
E and O.
E.
There's an E.
O.
There's an O. Keep going. Mortal... pretty sure are stop my mail.
Yeah, well, I get a lot of junk mail.
Yeah.
Except it's mail, M-A-L-E.
An N.
N. And no N's.
No
more N's.
N's. Oh, well.
Oh, we're on to K-Dubs.
K-Dubs. Finish it out, K-Dubs. Let's see.
We now have proof that even though this is running on Valiant Cheese's website, that he is not cheap.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Rich Gen X keeps...
Stop my mail. Oh, slap my mail. Oh, no.
Ew. That sounds
K-Dubs.
naughty.
Yes, it does. D and L. D.
L.
Yep.
Is there an L? What's an L? Okay, you get another guess. K-Dubs.
We all know Roberta Williams' favorite game she made was King's Quest 8.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Ken Williams' book talks about how much she loved it.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure she did, yes. It is beyond my reach.
She was not pleased that they took it out of her control.
I'm sure I wouldn't chew my lake. Ah. Mortal death, yes.
Shoe my lace, come on. Lace.
Oh, yeah. Or, no, it would be lace my shoe. Any rate, who are
Not if you're Yoda.
K-Dubs is the mortal death to show my love. All right. K-Dubs. Dearest Emily, wan and pale, if I could only pierce the veil of mortal death to show my love.
Is that right? I don't know.
Well, what do you think?
Let's go switch off it. Oh, but if I solve it, we can't go back to it.
Yeah, to show my love.
What do you give us?
He's guessed that. Okay, reveal.
Okay, to show my love. You got it!
Yay! K-Dubs, you have officially won your own copy of Kathy Rain Director's Cut. And
which
you
we
can
think is probably a Steam key. So you would need to contact support@herou.net.
See, if I was playing, I would have won. Well, you would have, Rich, so why don't you play next time? Awesome. Everybody, thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming. We're really happy to do this sort of thing. everybody have a great Nights of the Dead, and sorry missed Halloween, but Halloween never ends, especially if you look at the room around us. We have Halloween stuff in the living room still forever. Because of this time,
Well, like
I didn't know the
Christmas tree
prize
that
was
we
waiting
usually
and
took down
smoked
in
it on
about
the
August.
side. Yeah. Oh well.
I actually just changed the background of our Twitch page. Had the Tilly on her sled in
Oh
in
really?
the snow until now.
Okay.
Till today.
Thanks so much for streaming. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, night. Everybody.
After October comes
remember,
October 2.
Yes, tomorrow
That's the sequel.
is daylight savings time changeover
Yeah,
for
so
us
it's
poor
spring
Americans.
forward, fall back. So you
Yeah.
set your clock back 1 hour.
Super cool to interact with y'all. Thanks for sharing your time with us. We enjoyed it. Well, thank you for sharing your time with us. We will do this again in 2 weeks as we will do our annual
And maybe
thanks.
I'll have a voice by then.
It'll be the thanks issue of
Giving thanks.
giving
Okay.
thanks. So see you next time.
And,
Bye-bye.
And both of our birthdays are coming up soon, so anyone who wants to go on to our Patreon and subscribe.
Yeah, okay, fine. Go to Patreon.
The Patreon is Patreon.
And when you go on Patreon, you can still get the latest wallpapers for Halloween. If you have,
Patreon.com.
if you like us, Halloween never ends.
So that's a place to
We've
learn more
done
of
our
the stuff we write.
turns of
Oh, how exciting!
Yeah. Let's see.
One book library.
And you too can download a free Happy Halloween wallpaper.
Halloween wallpaper.
And this one, and then
We got 4 of them altogether.
yes, we have got 4 of them.
Halloween.
Continue reading. You can get this one, which I regularly. I mean, this is so beautiful. This Med Sea is just gorgeous
Yeah,
in
it's
this
beautiful
picture.
colors.
So it makes a great background.
It's more real than real.
Hope you recovered well. Well, we're still recovering, but we're mostly better. So
You're getting better.
yes. So thanks everybody. See you next time.
As Inspector Clouseau said in one of the Pink Panthers, every day in every way I'm getting better and better.
I don't think he actually said that. I think that was his boss.
Maybe it was the psychiatrist one.
No, I think it was his boss that kept saying that, and then he had to deal with Clouseau, and then he decided that no, he's not getting
Maybe
better.
he wasn't actually getting better.
Thank you. Have an awesome rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone for coming. And I have put up the one from 2 weeks ago on YouTube. I have not put the previous ones up yet, but eventually will, and I'll put this one up. Okay, so bye.